The Jets will pick third overall. GM Joe Schoen was asked about their plans at quarterback, and here's what he had to say.
Tommy DeVito is our only quarterback on the roster, so you may evaluate both of those. Those both may be options. So, again, we don't know what's going to happen in the draft. We don't know who's going to be there. When we get around these kids, they may or may not be a fit for us. So, we're going to have to address the position somewhere. We're going to look at, vets. We're going to look at the draft. We're going to look at trade candidates. We're going to look at under every rock to, find the best prospect for us going into the 25 season.
Adam, as much as we all love Tommy Cutlets, and may he have a long and prosperous career, what more can you tell us about what they're planning on doing at quarterback?
Well, they're going to add a quarterback, if not two, during the offseason. And obviously, people have been talking about Matthew Stafford, who wound up back in Los Angeles. The Giants explored it, as they should have, and tried to get out on it. It didn't work out. Now they go on to the next plan of action. And in their next plan of action, Aaron Rodgers will be one of the veteran quarterbacks that they investigate. Sam Darnold could be another. And then, of course, I think the Giants will be aggressive in seeing whether or not they can move up in the draft to number 2, maybe number 1. The Titans have yet to make a decision about what they want to do at number 1, whether they're willing to stay there. But the Giants could wind up adding a quarterback in free agency, trading up in the draft, sitting at number 3 and taking a quarterback. There's a lot of different ways this still can go, but one thing is certain. They're going to be adding multiple quarterbacks this offseason, with Tommy Cutlets being the only quarterback currently on their roster.
Too good.
It's going to be a fun 8 weeks, man, listening to Adam talk about all these options on the table. Okay, so my thoughts on the Giants are remarkably similar to what Dan just said about the Browns, only they're picking behind the Browns. But I think there's 2 things I would seriously consider of them. One, jumping the Browns to get Cam Ward. Draft capital, really, it depends on what it would take. I don't know how much competition that they would have, but I do think the Titans would be very willing to just go down one spot because of the way this draft is shaking out and their need to add draft capital. So I would consider that. The other thing I would do is, if Travis Hunter was there at 3, I would take him and not reach for a quarterback. I just would. I think he is a generational player. I don't think this is a team that is a quarterback away. I would look into free agency and maybe consider a bridge, which might not be aligned with the priorities of the GM. But to me, what would be best for the long-term future of the franchise would be to take the player that I have so much more conviction in, and that's Travis Hunter, regardless of what position he plays, by the way.
And Mina, this is exactly why Tennessee is going to be taking its time and not rushing into a decision, because they know that they could always trade back to 2. They can trade back to 3. They have to decide whether or not they feel strongly enough about a player like Miami quarterback Cam Ward before they decide what they want to do with the number 1 pick. If ultimately they decide that Abdul Carter or Travis Hunter is the pick, it'll be very simple to move back 1 or 2 or maybe both spots in the draft. They can trade back to 2 and then trade back to 3 if they want. Maybe they just go straight back to 3. But this draft, of course, starts with Tennessee. It's in the first spot. And because they were late to hire their general manager, Mike Borgonzi, and because they restructured their front office, they're a little bit behind some of these other teams. And that means they're not going to rush into any decision about what to do at number 1. We may see a trade of the number 1 pick. I would imagine we wouldn't see it for about a month from now at the soonest, because Tennessee wants to be very thorough in everything it's doing and exhausting all possibilities before it signs off on deciding whether to keep or trade that number 1 overall pick.
If Travis Hunter falls to the Giants at number 3, I'm going to fix the Giants in 10 seconds. Go draft Travis Hunter, sign Aaron Rodgers to a 1-year deal, start him the season, and then in the second round, draft Jalen Milroe at Alabama in November, make him your starting quarterback, and unleash quarterback run into the NFL with him.
Yeah, they had that second pick in the second round. The last time, by the way, the Giants picked in the top 3, they took Saquon Barkley back in 2018 at number 2, which turned out really great for the
Shots
Eagles.
fired.
Yeah.
How's it going, everybody? Villa Sports Network here. Just want to thank you guys for your support on the channel. Thank you guys for watching the video. Hope y'all enjoyed it. I also want to kind of remind you to don't forget to leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment on the video if you like as well. But regardless of the fact, thank you again for your support, and hope to see you on the next video.